Hello and welcome. This will be a reading for Sagittarius for April 2023. Welcome to the table, Sagittarius. I have pre-shuffled the cards, but I will shuffle them again for you. The flowers are from my garden and the crystals have been in their salt bath. I do hope you enjoy them. I'm an intuitive reader. I'll be using a 10 card spread, so 5 cards along the top row, 5 cards along the bottom row. I'll be talking about those cards as they come out, and then I will overlay them with a second deck of cards and talk about those cards as well. Usually by that stage we've got some idea of what energies may be approaching you, so let's hope everything goes smoothly and the cards have hopefully something nice to say for you. Okay, let's start this reading. Page of Pentacles, first card out in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, 10 of Swords in reverse. Don't mind the reverse cards, there's nothing negative. The Hierophant in reverse and the 2 of Wands in reverse. On the bottom row we have the King of Wands in the upright position. So all the cards in the top row are in the reverse position. 3 of Pentacles in the upright position, the Lovers in the reverse position, the 6 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles. Lovely. So the Lovers is in the reverse position as well. And I'll show you the bottom of the deck and then I'll take a look. What have we got? Strength in the reverse position. Okay. All right, well, we'll start talking about these cards. Here, the first card out is the Page of Pentacles. Now, this is somebody who is got a youthful energy and starting a project that is perhaps taking up a project or a creative thing, a creative task or learning, so that later on they may be able to manifest some money as a result of the creativity or the learning that they're undertaking. That was a bit of a mouthful, I do apologize. So here, this is a card full of optimism. It's in the reverse position, so if you're thinking about something, it does look like maybe you're going over and over and over and over this decision, looking for a little spark of light to sort of let you know whether to go ahead with this decision or not. But it is in the reverse position, so, do take your time to think about it if you have the time. And think about the consequences, the possible outcomes, how you may feel while you're undertaking this project, and how you may feel when you've completed the project, and what are the possible outcomes. Here we've got the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. So as you can see, it's there in the moon. So perhaps you're not reaching the point of any clear thinking at the moment. It feels perhaps that you are struggling, and this is where the card is probably asking you to use your intellect so that you can make a breakthrough, because sometimes your emotions get in the way and you can't think clearly. As you can see, this card is right out in the open. It's sort of like a very crisp, clear, cold winter's night where there is nothing to distract you except the cold and the stars. And this is this analytical thinking where you're crisp and you're clean and you're clear thinking. So it's asking you to use some clear thinking so that you can make a breakthrough about something. 10 of Swords here. And in this case, I feel like you're going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And you could also be reflecting on the past hurts. When you take another look at it again, you kind of remember the pain, but it's under the moon. So perhaps this is stuff that's going on in the night. Perhaps in the night time you're having some anxiety and concerns, but this is leaving you behind. So this energy, you don't need to perhaps worry so much. And it's also giving me the sense of, for those of you who are interested in things like astral traveling, it's almost like you're leaving your body and traveling and looking, and it's almost the same sort of energy as this, traveling through the cosmos, looking for answers, looking for the little sparks of light that can lead you forward. So, you know, it could be anxiety and worries, but it also could be that sense of astral traveling or dreaming. So you could be dreaming quite a lot, in which case pay attention to your dreams. There are those people who read dreams and understand dreams, and I'm sure you can find somebody on YouTube who may give you some clear insight into dreams. Here we've got the Hierophant, so it's in the reverse position. So this is normally a teacher, a spiritual guru, somebody, a bit of a guide, a bit of a leader, and also somebody who can impart knowledge and wisdom to you. Now, it's in the reverse position, and I'm always very alarmed when somebody who's in authority or who is a spiritual teacher or a guru is showing up in the reverse position, because there's the potential then for an abusive situation to evolve, where the guru is setting himself higher than you, and that is never the case. They may have studied more than you, but nobody is higher than anybody else, and everybody can achieve enlightenment, and everybody can achieve learning and wisdom. So I am feeling here that, and this is rather an interesting thing, it's the pattern and texture here around this person here, which I assume is a guru. It's almost like they're spinning an intricate web. Maybe they're bamboozling you with words. Be careful that gurus and spiritual leaders aren't bamboozling you with words, because a spiritual journey of any sort, or somebody who's trying to impart knowledge, shouldn't be bamboozling you. They shouldn't be so florid in their speech that you no longer understand what they're saying, and in which case then it's their ego talking, and I would imagine this is represented by this red colour. Perhaps their ego is talking, and they're trying to be overly expressive in their language so that they look like they're setting themselves apart. That was another long mouthful. I do apologise. 2 of Wands. Okay, this is a lovely energy here. As you can see, he's got 2 wands. He's tapping into the world here. He's tapping into creation of the plants. So here, this is the beauty and bounty. When we reach up into the stars, when we tap into a higher dimension, we can be inspired to take up a creative project. So it's tapping into something higher, something that normally may not be in your conscious awareness, something that may be right deep down inside you. It's like discovering that you are a wonderful painter, but you only discover that at age 65. And you've spent your whole life not knowing that. Until you tap into something, you don't know what you're capable of. And I think that might be a little bit of advice here for this card here, where you're thinking about perhaps taking up a creative project. Unless you tap in, you don't know what you're capable of. And you won't know what you're capable of manifesting and expressing out into the world unless you tap in. So perhaps take some time to think, and again, use your analytical thinking, because this 2 of Wands here, even though it's in the reverse position, it's perhaps saying to me, it's telling me that you're not tapping in enough and thinking of what is possible. Perhaps you're doubting yourself, and that could be the case here too. So don't doubt yourself, and particularly sometimes, you know, it's like going to school and the teacher says, oh, you're hopeless, don't even bother taking art classes. And so for your whole life you doubt yourself as having any creative potential, when in fact actually all it requires is the confidence to just pick up the paintbrush and just sort of start painting the things that you see in your mind when you close your eyes. So hopefully somebody hasn't put the seed of doubt into you. Here we've got the King of Wands, which is rather lovely because it's almost And this is in the upright position. So it's countering everything that I'm saying here about the Hierophant. As you can see, he's holding this rod here. This is almost like a time traveler. He's manifesting. You know, here he's got the two spirals of energy. So he's pulling down from the cosmos. This is somebody who's highly, highly creative. He's pulling down from the cosmos. He's drawing on that inner creative urge. There's an urge in all of us to create something and to produce something good that comes from within ourselves. And unless you try it, here it's timeless. As I said, it has nothing to do with your age. So don't doubt your age. Don't doubt your ability to actually produce or create something. It's there. You just need to tap into it. Here we've got the Three of Pentacles, rather interesting. Again, this is like an artist drawing a picture of a pentacle. So again, this theme of being creative is coming up. Oops, they were in the upright position, not in the reverse position. And by the way, I will make reference here to the third eye, here, this intuitive eye. So, you know, once you take up this challenge of being creative, it sometimes in itself or of itself starts to allow, you know, the more you start to paint, the more your brush and your hand will start to operate in a more automatic way. It's like cooking. If you cook sufficiently, you know, you start to cook by instinct. If you start to paint, you may start to paint by instinct. A lot of things happen just, it's the energy starts to flow once you start tapping into that first initial steps of taking up something. So here is an artist starting to learn to paint. This is Three of Pentacles. And perhaps, as I said before, perhaps you were taking up some learning, paying to study a course, and you might be going to a college or even a night class of some sort, or even university. This could be the card of a student starting university. Here, some sort of collaborative project, perhaps, and I would suggest this may be a class, mainly because this Page of Pentacles is here. So somebody who's undertaking some study, paying for the tuition probably, and starting on this journey of creating and manifesting. Okay, so that's really beautiful energy. For some reason, again, this Knight card here, this analysis is required, but it's showing me here on this bottom row already that the potential here for you to actually create and manifest is already quite strong. Now, this is the Lover's card. Now, this can be soulmates, a connection of soulmates, but it also speaks very highly of the union of your subconscious and your conscious mind. This is why we've got the two trees as well. So it's this union. It's the temptation of the ego to separate you from your subconscious mind. But if you can allow some closeness of your conscious and your subconscious mind, you will find unity, and then you will be able to move forward in a much more flowing way. I'll say that, I'll just say flowing way, in a loving way. It's where you start to find a unity within yourself so that you start to recognize the wholeness of yourself. So that if anyone has put any doubt in your mind, you no longer need to feel that doubt. You know, you are not smaller than anybody else. This is a beautiful card. This is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, this is the traditional, meaning the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords in traditional cards is talking about moving on to better times. This card is particularly beautiful because the angel is standing at the front of the ship, or the front of the boat, pardon me, as you're moving out into the light. Now the angel is guiding you out into the light. Okay, so that's rather lovely. It's in the upright position, not in the reverse position. So in this case, the swords are put aside because they become like a little barrier, almost like a little gate above your head. The swords are put aside, so the analysis is put away. This is just the flow of consciousness and being led out into better times. I do apologise. Ten of Pentacles. So this is lovely energy. This is having sufficient funds. And clearly you can see to do things, having funds to be joyous. And I guess this is another thing, is that maybe you've got money coming in towards you. Maybe you can reassess your finances. It's also talking about using your finances to give you joy in the world and to be creative. So that is there. Normally the Ten of Pentacles would be about having sufficient money to retire or to be comfortable in your life. So it's interesting that that card is there. I do apologise for the coughing fit. It seems to happen every time I cut something green. I didn't talk about strength. Now, strength is here in reverse. So somehow it's almost as though you aren't quite in your full strength. Now, again, this can be your conscious and your subconscious mind is pulling together the two so that you become strong and singular, as a singular energy, entwined, enmeshed together. Okay, so this is looking your fears in the face. What are you frightened of? What is making you feel that you're not good enough? All of those kind of questions. You need to look at those questions and assess them. And this is where your fears, the fear of the lion becomes something that stops you from moving forward, because you need to put your fears aside. You need to integrate your fears and say, yes, I'm capable of moving forward despite my fears. Okay, so that's part of the problem of sometimes being overcome by your fears. Sometimes they take on a large size, and that the fear starts to grow and grow and grow. Let's clarify these cards. I've taken rather a long time. I'll try and move a little bit faster. Now, this deck of cards is entirely different to the energy coming off these cards. These are beautiful artistic cards and they have a soft energy. The new cards here that I'm laying out are called Dancing in the Dark Tarot, and they have a very sharp, crisp energy. They're a bit dark looking, but you need to focus on where the light is falling. So we'll put these out and I'll try and move along a little bit. So here we've got the Eight of Swords, the Sun, beautiful. Okay, we've got the Seven of Wands. What have we got there? I think that's the that's the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. Ace of Swords. King of Swords. Oh wow, you've got some sword energy going on here. Wow. Okay, Eight of Wands. Four of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. And Justice. Wow, okay. Whoa. What have we got there? We got the Devil. Okay. You've got some big energy on the table here, and it's these cards are powerful. The energy is popping out. So here, fears, worries, something has got you a little bit bound up. Some mental aspect has bound you up and is keeping you a little bit, and I'm going to use the word hamstrung, although she's got her hands tied behind her back. It's stopping you from moving forward. So something is stopping you from moving forward, and it's got to do with fears. And it's a mental aspect. It's not anything else other than a mental aspect. You've got the Sun. So here, this is success, joy, happiness, confidence. And as you can see, there's a young child here. So this is this childlike confidence, this innocence, feeling successful, feeling happy, feeling vital. So there's a lot of vitality. So if anybody's been feeling sick, your vitality will be renewed. So there's a wonderful card there. Here we've got the Seven of Wands. So feeling a little bit defensive. It's in the reverse position. So perhaps you don't need to be defensive. And I would say also you don't need to justify yourself to anyone. Okay? Never feel that you have to justify yourself to anyone. Okay? A lot of people sometimes ask these probing questions, and you feel you have to answer all the questions. If you don't feel like answering, you can just stay silent. So I'm feeling here that questions, justifications, you don't need to justify anything. Okay? You are your own person. You live your own life. You don't need to answer to other people. Here we've got the Knight of Swords. So this is something in haste. Don't be hasty. It's a warning here not to be too hasty. Okay, don't get angry. Don't get upset. Use your clear thinking. Again, this person normally would be charging ahead, making some sort of a mental breakthrough, but it's in the reverse position. And as you can see, the red part here, I'm not a horsey person, so I don't know much. I don't know whether that's the bridle or the reins is red. Taking control. Okay, so you need to take control, rein it back in. Don't be hasty. Okay, don't make any decision in haste. Think about it quietly. As you can see, underneath the saddle is the red cloth. So instead of being hasty, sit yourself down, take control of your emotions, can take control of your thoughts, and think about it. This is a mental breakthrough. Some clear thinking. So this is normally a mental breakthrough. It can also be a legal breakthrough. It's in the reverse position. So I'm going to say cloudy thinking. Don't allow yourself to be overcome. What shall I say? With your passions. Don't be overcome with anger or your passions so that they cloud your thinking. Okay? Here we have the King of Swords in the upright position. So brilliant. This is your clear thinking. This is when you've taken control of your thinking. So there is on this top row, there's a lot of self-doubt, seeds of doubt that people have put inside you. And here now we've got clear thinking. You've sat yourself down. You've thought something through. You've given yourself some space. And you have made this breakthrough. You've taken control of your emotions. You're taking control of the situation. You're being analytical and critical, and you're not focusing that inwards on yourself. You're focusing it outward and making good decisions. So that's beautiful. So here you've got two kings. This is here at the beginning of April. You're taking good control of yourself here, taking control of your creative urges and your mental capacity. So that's beautiful control here. So that's wonderful. You do have the Sun, so that's always a beautiful card. Here we've got the Eight of Wands. This is normally fast messages coming in towards you. So perhaps you're going to receive some messages, but it looks like things are going to change quickly in the beginning of April. So get your shoes on, because it looks like something is going to come in fast, and it's under the sun. It's going to make you happy. Whatever it is you decide to do, whatever creative thing you decide to take on, after you've given it some clear thought, the sun comes out and you are going to be happy. You're going to start moving quite quickly. Here is this is often called the Miser's card. Hanging on too tightly to your money, too many concerns about money, and being rigid and inflexible. And that can also be in a worldly situation. So don't be rigid in how you think about things. That can be traditional upbringing that tries to confine you to a rigid structure. So anything that's trying to confine you to a rigid structure, it's asking you to perhaps spread your wings a little bit and think outside the box. Okay, so it's not just about money, it's anything on the worldly in the worldly area of your life. So, you know, this is very much a sort of perhaps the way you were brought up, the kind of thinking that you've always done, the kind of thinking perhaps that your parents have done. This is saying to you, there's room on the bench for you to move sideways a little way. So do expand your thinking about money and things in the world. Okay, here we have the King of Pentacles. Now this person is taking control of their money, and this person knows how to utilize their money. They're careful. They don't spend their money unwisely. They think carefully about how they utilize their money. They invest it wisely. They don't splash it about, but they know how to buy the things they need and they want in the world, so that they receive the enjoyment from the hard work and efforts that you've put in. Okay, if you want some little luxuries, by all means, think about it, assess it. Can you afford it? If you can afford to splash out a little bit, by all means, go out and have a little bit of fun and use your money for some of the things that you may want to do. Here is Justice. This is perfect. This is the card. This is a lovely card actually to end your reading, because you find balance. You find your equilibrium. You find the truth. You're looking inside yourself. You're clear thinking. You're analytical. You have weighed up your circumstances and you find that perfect balance. So that is absolutely gorgeous. On top of the Ten of Pentacles, couldn't be nicer. This top row, as you could see, that was all quite strange energy. And here is this Devil. It's in the reverse position. So I'm going to show it to you in the reverse position. You'll see I've put stickers on the cards because YouTube doesn't like YouTube doesn't like nudity. So I've now covered up all their little private parts. Releasing yourself from any mental constraints that have tied you back, held you back, wherever perhaps you felt you needed to justify yourself. Perhaps you were held back by your fears. Perhaps you were held back by, I'll show you this one, because perhaps you were held back by things people have told you, that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough. That can be your old traditional teaching. It can also be gurus who are setting themselves up, and not every guru is a genuine guru, particularly if their language is too florid or too complicated so that you can't understand it. Because here, as you can see, this card here, this is where your angels will stand at the front of the boat and guide your boat towards the light. So that's beautiful, lovely, lovely energy. But let go of anything that is not serving you anymore and that's holding you back. That's all you need to do. You find balance. You got clear thinking and you're moving forward. So, and here you've got this King of Pentacles, being wise with your money and being led by the angels into a place of light. What more could you ask for? So thank you very much for watching, Sagittarius. I apologise for my coughing fit, and I apologise if this is slightly longer than it should be. Bye for now.